before this path, I used to use mudras in meditation, and they were very powerful. Often the heart would open and I would fall into deep gratitude. Guruji, what do you say about using mudras for meditation and also for health benefits? A lot of times when Kundalini awakens, one does spontaneous mudras. Okay, that takes place. I have seen a video that's a Chi-Gong, that's based on sitting practice, which has some mudras in it, and it's quite nice. I don't necessarily advocate that one tries to put into place mudras to make shifts in consciousness, just as I don't advocate that one tries to do a lot of different various asanas and things when the spontaneous asanas are happening, not to put into practice a set thing. Because these things work on consciousness, they work on the consciousness. And so what is needed comes through the practices. And as things awaken, then like I said, these things spontaneously emerge. And they're the ones that need to be done for that moment. Okay? So we're not going to get off into, I want to do something other than what's on this path. I want to continue in my old practices and drag them into this path. That's not beneficial. It's not beneficial. If someone wants to do a practice that has mudras in it, like I said, I have a Chi-Gong practice and video that I can recommend that's quite nice.
The 1,000 hands.
The 1,000 hands Buddha. Yeah, the 1,000 hand Buddha practice. It's quite nice. Nothing wrong with it, and it can be beneficial if you want to sit and do a little bit of a moving type of a mudra practice along with your meditation. So that's quite fun.
Yeah, that 1,000 hands Buddha is really nice. I mean, I actually enjoy it and do it almost daily since you got it, and find it just very relaxing and calming, and after a day's work and clearing and all that. So, but again, this isn't anything. The reason why we don't bring these things up sometimes is people might gravitate to them and feel like, oh, or they bring their old stuff into it, and if there's confusion, then it's not a good thing. It's just best to just keep it very simple. And I would say in terms of practices to do would just be really calming things. Whether it's a walking meditation or the Chi-Gong, just very gentle, but not necessarily with mudras and things. But because as these things, as Guruji was saying, they come up when the conditions are ripe, and we're not here to force or change anything. We're just here to allow it to naturally flow and to be surrendered within that, because in that way it just can flow Kundalini can flow very smoothly without hindrance and without any sort of intention put into it, because that's not what we're doing. We're really just opening up and observing and witnessing and allowing this to flush through without getting involved at all.
So once again, I want to stress that there's nothing wrong with mudras, but when you're doing this as a set to accomplish a specific type of a thing, then this is where, the dividing line is, that we say, we don't want you to do that, because the practices will open up what needs to be opened up in the correct timing. Okay? So that's all. Namaste. Yes.
Some stretching is okay though. Some.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
In the morning, it makes the body looser and more receptive to any spiritual practice, but not with the goal of that being the core practice, just by loosening the body.
Stretching and that is just absolutely fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Anything relaxing like that is very good, but it doesn't have to be that you brought in a certain practice, or, I mean, all of it can be integrated within the practice
Right.
that is given here.
Right.
The balanced breath, mantras can be said within, full focus on the moment and what's happening. So that's really what we're saying, is the practices as given are the core. Everything else, those practices are brought into, be it if you are end up doing some Chi-Gong or immersing in that, then have it focus on the heart center, immerse in the balanced breath. Don't do any of the special breathing that's given. They give so much, like you know, so many different types of breathing, and focus on the moon and all this stuff. I mean, we're not doing any of that.
Right.
And that's why we're careful about giving any of these things out.
Right. That's why we have the thing about the yoga, because some of the yoga teachers out there, they're wanting to try to bring in a bunch of philosophy and pranayama and stuff that they know nothing about. And so this is not beneficial for people. But yeah, light asanas and stretching is quite fine. Tai-Chi is quite fine. It's a nice moving, gentle type of a stretching and meditation type of practice. It's quite fine. Nothing wrong with it. So yeah, stretching is absolutely fine. And some of the asanas and yoga practice is fine, as long as you don't get off in a bunch of other drama, you know, where they're trying to teach and bring in, you know, guided meditation and other things which are not beneficial. And like I said, if you're in the part of the journey where Kundalini is awakened and you're having spontaneous asanas that are taking place, then it's better to let go of doing the other asanas until this time passes. That's all. So yeah, nothing wrong with asanas, just let's not mix when you start having spontaneous asanas coming up. Let's not take in a specific routine at that point. That's all.